These are 5 major traps that police use across the country day in, day out to trap unsuspecting people just like you so that they get the answer that they want. We're going to take you through them, and I'm going to give you tips about what you can do to fight back and protect your rights. So guys, let's get into it. One of the most common and absolutely devastating police tactics that they use to get you to give consent to a search, because keep in mind, every search is always legal if you give the proper consent, is the double negative trap. Let me explain in English. Here's an example. Imagine I'm the officer. You don't mind if I search your car, right? You don't mind if I search your car, right? Now, this is perhaps the most widely used psychological manipulation during traffic stops that I see, both as an ex-state prosecutor as well as a criminal defense attorney. The question is intentionally designed to confuse you, no matter how you try to answer it. You don't mind if I search your car, right? If you say yes, as in, yes, I do mind, I'm not giving consent, officers can claim that you did give consent because after all, you said yes, go ahead, search away, right? If you say no, as in, no, officer, I'm not giving consent, but you just say no, they can choose to interpret that as, no, I don't mind, which means consent. You see, either road there can lead to consent. It's the double negative trap about how they word things. And officers are very deliberately trained on how to do this, whether it's in this particular context with trying to get your consent, whether it's with drunk driving investigations, or that's other common things like a DUI arrest and investigation where they give you multi-layer questions, they divide your attention, all that kind of stuff. Here, the ambiguity works entirely in the officer's favor by design. So what are you supposed to do about this? The quick answer is never give a simple yes or no to a question. Instead, clearly state, I do not consent to any searches. Am I free to leave? Remember, if you are free to leave, then that is a consensual encounter at that point. The officer can tie you up there all day. If you're free to leave, you are well within your rights to safely, politely, and respectfully roll up your window and head down the road. The next one is what's sometimes called the two-step. Here's an example. We're going to start with step 1. Hey, is there anything illegal in that vehicle? Is there anything illegal in that vehicle? Now, this appears to be innocent, but it's actually step 1 of the trap. Because if you answer no, there's nothing illegal in the car, you've now made a statement that could be used against you, I suppose, if there was something illegal that could be found later, even if you genuinely didn't know that it was there. Passengers drop things, valets have access to your cars, whatever else, okay? But here comes part 2, the second step of the two-step trap. Then you wouldn't mind if I searched, right? You see, once you've denied having contraband, anything illegal, officers immediately follow with that consent request. Because now the board is set and the implication is clear. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't object to a search. This psychological pressure exploits your desire to appear cooperative and innocent that bluntly almost everybody in the West has inculcated, has programmed into them since being a child. The reason why it's called the 1-2 is because when the officer asks things in this sequence, do you have anything illegal in the car? Then you don't mind if I search. This creates a logic trap where refusing the search seems to imply that you're lying. It seems to contradict your claim of innocence. Officers know that, and they know that most people will feel guilty and most are prone to cooperating. And as a result, that's the reason why this one is so incredibly effective at gaining your consent to a search. The solution, you've got a few options. One is simply you can just answer, no, I don't have anything illegal in the car. And then when you know that that second step is coming, just say no. I'm not giving you any consent to search in a polite, clear, respectful tone. Another option 2, if you feel like you're going to fall for that psychological trauma at the side of the road, when asked about if there's anything illegal in the car, you always have the option to invoke your Fifth Amendment right of, I plead the Fifth, I do not consent to any searches, I won't answer any questions without my attorney present. Remember, you're under no obligation to admit or deny anything. Number 3, this is the quick look in a real casual conversational style. It always sounds something like this. Hey, do you mind if I take a quick look around? Or do you mind if I peek inside your car? Just make sure there's nothing illegal or anything like that. This casual conversational phrasing has emerged as a regular and consistent part of police training and jargon. The trap lies in its deliberate vagueness about what is it exactly you're consenting to, what's the scope of the search, and how intrusive will it be? Let me give you some examples here. What does the phrase quick look actually mean? I have seen cases where officers have asked for permission to take just a quick look that has resulted in a 30-minute search of someone's car, their possessions, backpacks, you name it. Now, in the back end, some courts have interpreted this as you saying, yeah, you can take a quick look, as giving full consent to search anywhere in the vehicle, including closed containers like backpacks, briefcases, glove boxes, inside center consoles, you name it. Others, however, have limited this style of questioning to a visual observation only. So in other words, you can go inside, but you cannot necessarily open up things like backpacks, sealed containers, that kind of stuff. But keep in mind, this kind of ambiguity is designed to get your foot in the door if you're the officer, because once you're in the car, it's a heck of a lot easier then to get other evidence and reasons to detain and reasons to search, because the law and the Constitution, it doesn't prohibit searches. It prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures. What's reasonable is dictated by the evidence and the context. So the evidence is, if the officers see something illegal, well, guess what? They can now go in and search. If they smell something that's illegal, they can probably go in and search, or at least detain you to get further evidence, like for example, in a drug situation, a canine drug sniffing dog. And it's all driven by that context of what does quick mean? Here's the reality to the situation. Officers will present you with the quick look, making it sound like it's trivial, easy, and brief. You'd be unreasonable to say no, right? In practice, these searches routinely turn into 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes on extreme cases, vehicle teardowns. Once you've given this vague consent, officers may have no time limit and no scope limit, depending upon the jurisdiction that you're in, because it all just needs to fall within that reasonableness standard. Number 4, the warrant threat. My old friend. It sounds something like this. If you don't consent, I'm just going to get a warrant anyways. Right? We've all seen that one in TV or maybe heard that one in person. The statement creates a false sense of inevitability. That's the trap. It traps you into the false sense of inevitability that the search will happen regardless, so you may as well consent and cooperate. Now, some courts have said that this style of questioning is actually coercive. When officers claim that they're going to get a warrant, even when maybe they don't have any probable cause to do so, rather than saying, I'm going to try to apply for one, or I will apply for one, it suggests that the warrant, it's a foregone conclusion, man. It's in the deck of cards, and that means maybe this crossed a legal threshold. Keep in mind, cops are allowed to lie about almost everything. There are some limits. If you want to know more about that, let me know down in the comment field below. So what's your way out of this trap? In a clear, polite, respectful tone, officer, if you believe that you have probable cause, please apply for a warrant. I do not consent to any searches. Very simple. Number 5, consent through confusion. Law enforcement's old trusted friend. This is where officers often try to state rather than ask. They're going to say something like, I'm going to search your vehicle. And they phrase it as a statement, as a pronouncement, not as a question, which it actually is. The reason why this works is that this tactic presents the search as, hey, this is going to happen. And most people, particularly if you've never dealt with the justice system before, you're thinking you've got no choice. They've got the authority and the legal ability to search. Consent isn't necessary. So I'm just going to back out of the way and hold the door open for them. Right. That physical gesture of you doing that likely will be construed as consent later on in court. You see how simple this goes? Do you see how that one works? Instead, you need to immediately respond clearly, I do not consent to any searches. Now, it's important to always remember, even if you know somehow, some way, you're a constitutional law expert, you know that what the officer is doing is illegal. They are illegally detaining you, searching you, arresting you, you name it. If you resist them, if you obstruct them, there's a very good chance that even if that arrest, that search is thrown out as being illegal, your resisting obstructing charges won't be. Now, always check your local listings, figure out what the laws are for your time and place. None of this here is legal advice, but they are legal tips. I appreciate you checking in. We're going to close out with our ever popular quote of the day. This one comes from 1788, the federal farmer, Richard Henry Lee, who said, quote, "To preserve liberty, it is essential that the whole body of the people always possess arms and be taught alike, especially when young, how to use them. Really quickly, I do not consent. Ask for a lawyer. Am I free to go? You got it. I'll see you in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and share button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this one, please feel free to check out some of our other great content, and we'll see you in the next one.